Finally, after a very long and hard grind in World of Warcraft Shadowlands, finally retired from the game entirely. I've done everything I want to do in Shadowlands. Feels good. Yes! 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 Unlocked the greatest mount of all time already. Alright, let's see the first time. Yes. Yes. Oh no, don't tell me it doesn't have a cool mount special. We got the cradle. We got the cradle. Let me flex it on him. Great. Okay, so that was really, really easy. I looked up a little video. You just gotta find 5 little parts in this little area. Bring it back. Boom. So, things are looking up. Someone in our guild, look at that, baby. Let me just go ahead and grab 3 of those, if you don't mind. Just made some bags for all of us. So not only did I get Papa's mint condition bag, so now we have a ton of bag space going into Shadowlands. So anyway, here we are in Shadowlands. I'm going to talk about my plans a little bit. Basically, I have chosen Night Fae. I am a Resto Druid. Plan on maining Resto Druid. I am level 60. Obviously, I picked a Covenant. And yeah, I'm going to grind out Ardenwald for everything it's worth. I'm going to suck the damn zone dry. So let's get started. Oh, hello there. I am just farming some anima for myself here. Just having a grand old time in Shadowlands. As you can see, I am questing in Ardenwald, which, yes, you may have guessed it, as my Resto Druid I have chosen the Night Fae Covenant. So yeah, right now I'm just working on gaining some anima and doing some world quests, and maybe soon I will be going for a mount. But before we get into that, we gotta back it up a little bit and start at the beginning. Welcome to the Shadowlands, where your life is made up and nothing is real. So, I have been playing Shadowlands since the release now, which would be, oh god, I don't even know. It's been just one big giant blur of sleep deprivation and grinding. I have hit level 60, I did probably a couple days ago. I've chosen my Covenant, and I am beginning to work towards it. I almost have 1,000 out of 1,000 anima for the week or whatever it is. I'm not 100% sure. So, that being said, I am an expert in Shadowlands. I am 100%. Professions are an awesome thing to be doing right now. You can make a ton of money. If you have like nothing but gathering professions, you can probably make anywhere from like 10 to 30k an hour, depending on how much is a lot for you. I don't know. I'm poor. That's a lot of transmog mounts. Let's... Hello? So yeah, professions are a great thing to, I don't want to say rush, but have in the beginning, because people are very eager to level them up. I'm actually already full herbalism, so 150, and then 116 for alchemy, so hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to make some high level potions. So the Shadowlands basically begins by creating a sort of ritual with the helmet that has been shattered and torn the world asunder, and basically you travel with Bolvar, Four Dragon, and the rest of the gang on into the Maw, which is, I guess, sort of like the entry point for the afterlife, which is essentially the Shadowlands. I think the word Shadowlands in World of Warcraft is technically synonymous with the afterlife, more or less. But this is where you go once you are dead, dead, dead. But we're not dead, and we're not immortal, and people say that all the time. You start off in the Maw, you kind of work your way through, and then you end up questing through each one of the zones. The first zone that you unlock after the Maw is called Bastion. As you can see, it is a very holy, righteous type looking place. Everything seems to be made of marble and gold and stuff. Of course, are these little owl dudes. They are basically these little owl humanoid creatures that live to serve, I guess, these people. So this is the home of the Kyrian Covenant, and it is a very, very beautiful area. I really, really enjoyed the brief time that I quested through here, everything just looks amazing. It's a really awesome looking zone. Blizzard did an amazing job with how it looks. Essentially, the idea between each zone in the Shadowlands is essentially kind of where your soul gets to go. And I believe the Jailer is the determiner of that, who is the next big foe that we believe is teaming up with Sylvanas. The Bastion is the area for righteous and good souls to go. Anyway, I can't get over how awesome this place looks. It's really just, I mean, pretty phenomenal, to be honest. I mean, it looks like what you would consider maybe heaven, dare I say. After Bastion, we have somewhat the opposite of the polar end, and that would be Maldraxxus. I wouldn't say Maldraxxus is a necessarily unholy or bad place. Based on the story that I picked up, to be honest, I didn't read all the quests. I just wanted to get to level 60. From what I understand, Maldraxxus is more of an area of warriors than it is necessarily like bad people. I sort of think of this place as more like Valhalla rather than like heaven or hell. There's a lot of cool stuff in this zone. I did not choose the Covenant here, so I have not explored it a lot. If you look at this dude, this is basically the class mount or the Covenant mount for choosing the Maldraxxus Covenant, which is Necrolords. So I really haven't done a whole lot in this area, but Maldraxxus is super cool. This is basically the second area that I want my Covenant to be in. I mean, look at this. I mean, this whole NPC is so cool. Someone compared this zone to like Doom Eternal, and it's almost like the PG version. Alright, this is Ardenweald. Pronounced Ardenweald. Oh, sweet. I can get a pet. Yeah, baby, we got Rennie. Rennie's on the team, fam. We got a little Rennie. Alright, so there's all kinds of little things. Seems like there's been a lot of companions or pets. I'm trying to go out of my way to achieve a lot this expansion, because A, I really like it, B, I feel like this is the first expansion I've really hit the ground running, so I'm pretty excited for that. The one thing that is, in my opinion, a little bit absolutely cancerous about Ardenweald is like this really heavy blue light. I think like purple light on the color spectrum is very damaging for eyesight, and like this whole place can be a lot. I mean, like when you're like, for example, over top stuff like this, it's just like, I don't know. It's the whole area is super fluorescent, almost Avatar vibes, you know. It's basically a big fairy forest, hence the Night Fae. And I'll show you my two Night Fae abilities that I got. One's called Soul Shape, entirely useless. Now I'll show you my other ability. So, if you can kind of tell, there's a lot going on. Essentially, all it does is create a massive flurry of all of my abilities. So it shoots out Sunfires, Moonfires, heals, slashes, blah blah blah. It just does like a lot. It's just a spam of every spell. So it's very good. It's a channel ability, and you're able to move while you're channeling it. So it's a very, very, I think it's OP. I mean, not OP. I mean, it's probably supposed to be good, but it's very good. One additional cool thing about this Covenant is I believe my soul shape can actually be different animals. So maybe at some point I can become a spirit raptor or something else. I quite like the fox. I don't know. It's just fun. It's a little different. So I've never been a fox in a video game. Oh wait, that's not true actually. And this zone is Revendreth. This is the last one in your little tour of all of the zones and covenants. This place is basically like a vampire Transylvania kind of place. It's very cool. It's very gothic in many ways. The general idea is that yeah, vampire place is what it is. The Covenant here would be the Venthyr. This apparently is the Covenant or the area of the Arrogant Souls, where Arrogant Souls go, which I think is pretty interesting. The only thing I will say about this area is after you've been questing for a very long time to unlock all your stuff, this place really feels like it drags on towards the end. But yeah, so there's all these weird vampire looking dudes everywhere. I mean, super cool area. I mean, like, look at that giant tower up there, With all of those zones being shown, I guess it's worth talking about Oribos itself, which is the main city. So there are some things I do and don't like about it. There is no auction house, which I think is ultimately a good thing. It will keep people in Stormwind, which for some reason I feel like is healthy. There are a lot of people with the dino mount standing in front of the mailboxes, of course. The only thing I dislike about this area is it's a circle, so it's very kind of hard to remember exactly where everything is. Like, this is kind of your main place where you have your vendors, main faction stuff, I don't know, and then like your main leadership quest hub, basically. And it's got these 2 levels, so you go to the second level for the Flight Master. But then, in the middle, this is what makes Shadowlands really interesting right here. Back to the Maw. Returning to the Maw is actually really interesting. I can't say I'm super stoked about all of the activities that you can do in the Maw. I mean, the more content, the better, more or less. But the Maw has some interesting mechanics. So, if you look up here, while I'm in the Maw, you actually have basically a wanted level. So as you kill more, do more, the Jailer will be watching you like the Eye of Sauron, and he will send assassins out to kill you. He will send more hordes, not hordes, but hordes of enemies towards you. Torghast is another strange thing. I don't even know what this stuff is. But essentially, Torghast is almost like a mini-game where there's these floors and levels that go up this tower, and you just have to fight your way up. And you get all these crazy buffs that make you, like, super OP, and then eventually the mechanics get decently hard, from what I understand, around tier 6. So, Torghast is really interesting, and I think it's going to play an even bigger role later for some reason, but right now you use it to get Soul Ash, which I believe is worked towards legendary items. And yeah, so the Maw is kind of like a mix of purgatory, and it reminds me of like the Eye, like the Jailer watching you at all times reminds me of like the Eye of Sauron, and to me there's a big Lord of the Rings feel to like the whole thing. I think even Wrath of the Lich King I think even the Lich King and Sauron in the Lord of the Rings movie, they have very similar looking armor. I mean, they're not really the same person, but this is my Covenant base. So there's several things to do here, and I'm still learning it all, so apologize if I use some shoddy terminology here. But we have the Sanctum upgrades, so these are really pretty unique. The only way I'll be able to explain them is reading them. Restore the mysterious mushroom ring network that once brought all of Ardenweald together. Grants access to more travel options within the zone and opens up new paths of discovery across Ardenweald with their own unique rewards. I think a lot of them have something like this where you get access to unique rewards per the Covenant in that area. Restore anima to powerful and ancient device. Once operational, allows you to siphon anima to different parts of Ardenweald in order to activate new challenges and adventures. So again, I feel like that's unlocking bonus content in other areas, so that's interesting. Help protect the realm and maintain balance in Ardenweald. Recruit companions and troops to send them out on a series of adventures across Shadowlands. I think I'm going to do this next. Okay, so it's going to take an hour to upgrade. So yeah, you get one weekly quest to get 1,000 anima. So I think 1,000 is kind of the minimum. But apparently you can hold up to 15,000 anima. Anima sounds like it's going to be the, well, literal lifeblood of this next expansion. Don't ignore it, and don't ignore your covenant. Behold, the Forge of Bonds. So this is something that is constantly upgrading you. All of these upgrades are insane. You get these conduits, which are basically just little buffs or whatever that you add to these slots. You unlock the slots at different renown levels, and then of course you also unlock different, I think these are like different talent trees that you can actually collect. So I'm just building the first one, so that is another incredibly crucial thing that you need to be building up and paying attention to. Everything that they've added, there's a lot to it, and it's very intricate. I understand why it was late. I just feel like they did a really good job, and a lot of work was put into this expansion. The dungeons, they tend to be pretty challenging with interesting mechanics, kind of fresher feeling mechanics. There's been a couple fights where we have had some steep learning curves on, and the mechanics do feel a little fresher. I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, ultimately, you know, WoW isn't going to deviate that much from what it is as a game. I feel like they continuously take some risks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying Shadowlands, my fellow gamers. Let me know in the comments what you think about Shadowlands. Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think they can improve on? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, please. That would greatly help the algorithm like me. And, of course, smash sub if you want to see more. There will be more WoW content, other games, all sorts of stuff. Check out my channel, please.
Subscribe to Clayton Bridges YouTube channel.